And thank you, PiMSR, for inviting me for the My Story series. I'll introduce myself again. I am Munawira Kotyad. I am the founder of wonderwheelstore.com. I also work as director and associate professor at Pillai HOC College of Engineering and Technology. I have previously worked as a software developer for Intel and Microsoft at Oregon, USA. And when I moved back to India, I started working in academia in hopes to bridge the gap between the knowledge covered in curriculum and the current technological trends. The move helped me connect with a lot of students who are passionate about technology and inclined towards innovation. At our research lab in the HOC campus, we are always working with large groups of students uh, and who are working on ideas and solutions for various problems. So when I started working with these students, I noticed that these students automatically gravitate towards solutions for social challenges and solving ground level issues for the populations. This was very refreshing and a big change from my experience working with big corporations. So I felt that there is a promising shift towards a future of more social entrepreneurs and also developing a sustainable economy. Uh, I started Wonder Wheel Store with a similar vision. I started 2 years ago with an aim to support artisans and build a sustainable marketplace for handicrafts. So back in the US, I would see a lot of high market brands carry Indian made handicrafts of very good quality, which were not available for the Indian consumer market. These were being sold at very high prices and were manufactured solely for export in India. So there was a big gap between the Indian artisan and then the consumer that they were actually serving. And in turn, the Indian markets were being flooded by mass manufactured China made goods. So there was a gap in creating a sustainable ecosystem for these artisans. A lot of these artisans were struggling to sustain their businesses and their art forms while their products were being sold at like very high profit margins abroad. So this was one problem that I wanted to see how it can be tackled, and what could be a good platform to provide for them. So with that in mind, I started wonderwheelstore.com, and our mission has always been to create a thriving community of artists and help them grow their business. This is not a stock picture. This is one of our community of artisans from Bhopal, from a village near Bhopal, who are working on cross-stitched uh, home decor products. So the problem that we were trying to trying to solve with Wonder Wheel Store is we wanted to replace, or not replace, but to kind of introduce handmade products along with online marketplaces like Amazon, Flipkart, etc., who are just crowded with resellers and mass manufactured products. There was back 2 years ago, there was no online platform for consumers to exclusively buy ethically and locally made products while supporting the local artisans. The artisans were using social media platforms to sell their art, and they did not have a seamless selling or buying experience with the customers, and it was difficult for them to reach a large customer base just through their social media accounts. The consumers, on the other hand, needed a platform where they could purchase without where there was a trust factor involved. Most of the times when artists were selling on Instagram, the customers were a little hesitant to pay them through GPay. These were the modes of payment that they were using, some kind of a payment wallet, and without having a company behind that account, they did not have the trust to pay that amount. So this was the gap in the Indian artist and consumer market. The solution that we came up with is to create a unified online platform where the artists can directly sell to the sellers. So how you can think of underwheelstore.com is If you see Facebook, how everyone can create a profile and put all their updates on the profile. Similarly, on wonderwheelstore.com, all our artists have their own profile and have their own storefront, which the customers can directly buy from. And we have a payment gateway for them. We do all their marketing, we do the logistics. So the artist only has to concentrate on creating their art and then uploading it on Wonderwheel Store. It is, and we do not, Wonderwheel Store we have been very clear in our objective to not allow any resellers or mass manufactured products, because they will in the end then eclipse the artisans who are selling on our platform. We've created a community of artists that are working together and educating each other about the art form. So there are several committees that come together and try to solve each other's problems. There have been collaborations among the artists at Wonderwheel Store to create new forms of products. So all of this has been through our community interaction events that we've hosted in Wonderwheel. And we've done various sessions and various workshops to educate the consumer about the benefits of buying a handcraft product over a machine manufactured or a large scale product that doesn't have a artist touch to it. So when we started this, so these statistics are from last year. When we did start, there was a doubt that everything that you were trying to sell was much more expensive than what is available on Amazon because it is China made. So you were like, will the customer accept, or will the customer pay for something just because it is handmade? And I came across this survey which was done among the consumers in India, and it says that the Indian e-commerce market is predicted to have about 300 million shoppers by 2025. So that in itself is a very big number, and it is a very big market to target. So a small percentage of that could sustain a business very well. And in another survey that was done, 52% of consumers shared that they do make purchasing decisions based on an emotional connect. So if they have multiple choices, they will buy from something that is that's a socially responsible choice. And even in Capgemini's research, they said most of the consumers in India are changing their buying patterns, their purchasing patterns, and they want a story behind what they're buying. They want to know where their money is going. They want to know if, several things like from the product that they are buying, are there any human rights violations being done? Is there child labor being used? All of these things have come to factor into the buying populations, the mindset of the population. And this was an advantage to us because this is the kind of ecosystem that we were trying to create with Wonderwheel Store, something that is ethically, locally produced, sustainably produced, and it puts the artist first without putting a lot of resellers between the artist and the consumer. We were putting the artist directly in contact with the customer. So our product is wonderwheelstore.com. So as you can see, it hosts a lot of handicrafts made by, we have about 500 artisans on our platform as of now. And our catalog of products is above 3,000 products on our store now. This has been our work over the last 2 years. And when anyone who would like to sell can just fill up a form on the site, and then our team gets in touch with them, and we have a conversation. Sometimes we have a Zoom meet to see what kind of products they are making and what kind of ticket sizes, what kind of stock they maintain, etc. And after that conversation, we have an onboarding process where we help them put the products, etc. on our site. So once the site is made, we were very clear that a lot of the Indian artists do not have a computer or a laptop at home. They're all running their businesses using a smartphone, if at all. So most of them have one smartphone in the household and they are using that. So we made sure like all of the pages you see on our website, this is the backend that the vendor sees to upload their products, etc. So we made sure that all of this was mobile friendly. So if you have a smartphone, you can set up a store on Wonderwheel Store. You can upload your products, you can maintain your stock, you can handle your orders that are coming in, you can check on your monthly statistics, and we give information on different types of things. Like you can, on this itself, you can see the number of views that each product has gotten, how many customers have visited that product page since it was uploaded, and all of these statistics we provide directly to our artists as well. Of course, a lot of the artists are not technologically aware enough to use this, but we try to have workshops where we educate them about how to use the platform, etc. And so these are some this is how the backend platform looks for the artist. And then once they have uploaded the products, they will see their own storefront, which would look something like this with all of the category products, and they will be sorted into their bestseller products, their popular products, etc. So for consumers, for our Indian customers, what wonderwheelstore.com provided was a single one-stop shop for all handicraft products from artists across India. They could initially, where they would have to wait to go to a craft fair and have access to only those artisans who have who could pay the big amounts at these craft fairs. Like even the craft fairs where we've had in Mumbai, each stall would cost about 75,000 to 1 lakh just for a day, just to rent out the stall. And this is something that um, a regular Indian artisan or an artist cannot afford to spend. Their sales are not that much. The amount of money they have put into their business cannot, cannot support that 75,000 fee for a stall. So we created this one platform where the customers could access all of these artist products in one place. They For the conscious customers, we got the locally manufactured ethical products, and we reduce the work for them to have to put in more thought into the product by doing the background check on how these products are being manufactured. um, We also have introduced in the last year a lot of eco-friendly products, a lot of vendors. So if any customer is wondering or would like to start on an eco-friendly journey, make choices about products, everyone starts with using a bamboo toothbrush and replacing the loofahs at home, or packaging material, home decor products which do not have plastics, all of these things. And we have a large collection of products only dedicated to eco-friendly category, personalized, customized products. So if there is a big shift in gifting, a lot of people want to have that extra personal touch in gifting, and a lot for all those artistically challenged people who cannot make those you know uh, make these extravagant gifts. We have these artisans who will make them based on their customizations and personalizations, and they are actually one of our highest ticket items. Like biggest selling ticket items are these customized products for now we have Valentine's Day coming. So things like that is what we targeted, because at the end all of these are handcrafted and all of these are made to order, so they can be customized to a consumer's choice, which a lot of platforms like Amazon and Flipkart do not provide. We take care of logistics, delivery, and customer care support. So a lot of customers, if they ordered from an Instagram account or a social media account, they would not get a proper place to follow up, to track their orders, etc., which Wonderwheel Store has, just like any other e-commerce brand. And secure payment options, you can pay with card, banking, net banking, etc. So all of these options are provided. How we did our market adoption was, we started in a very traditional way. We went digital marketing through social media. We did influencer marketing, etc. And then we also did a lot of events for our artists at flea sessions, at the fleas, at the various flea markets in Bombay. We did corporate partnerships for corporate gifting, through which we got a lot of connects with consumers, with the customers. We did gifting partnerships with celebrities by gifting them on their birthdays, etc. So a lot of presence online and on social media. And another thing that we did a lot was free workshops, for art workshops on our social media accounts, by our artists, to get the artists more, interact with the customers, etc. Our future growth plans. So currently, another thing that we did to adopt was, we recently set up a sister consult in the US. So what we do is we've connected with a lot of vendors for weddings, for corporate events, and they want gifts that are not they want gifts that mean something. So we've connected with them, and we've connected our artists directly with these vendors, and they provide handmade gifts. And most of these vendors happen to be from non-profit organizations, or are working towards empowering women in rural areas. I think one point I missed out during this is, like, this is the entire business aspect of it, but at Wonderwheel, we have a lot of non-profit organizations that are, working on empowering women in rural areas by teaching them different types of art forms. And we charge a minimal processing fee from them. So we do not charge any commission to for on their sales. So it is a way of, a way of supporting the non-profit organizations through our business. So that becomes part of our CSR, but also these NGOs are also always up front and center. They get the same kind of viewership on our home pages and other social media, etc. So this is one thing that we've actively done from day one, from the day we started Wonderwheel Store. And in fact, we are supporting 3 nonprofits that had completely shut down their operations during COVID, and we've been able to give them big bulk orders through our corporate gifting partnerships in this year, like post COVID recovery sort of. So they have been able to start their operations again. So that is a great feeling for us, that through our business we are also able to help these nonprofits, and their only goal is to keep there are these amigurumi and Madhubani art forms that are not found in our day-to-day on websites that we go to usually, like the commercial websites, and their aim is to kind of bring it to as a fusion into Western clothes, and find these different types of prints on there. So that is something. And kids toys, BPA friendly, eco-friendly kids toys, all of these things, they are being created in these different villages. They are in Punjab, Rajasthan, and some villages near Ahmedabad. So they we are glad that through our business we are able to help them as well. What our future growth plans for Wonderwheel Store would look like is, we would definitely want to increase our catalog of products. We already at 3,000 plus, but we still lack in a lot of categories, which is not very easy to manufacture when it comes to handmade products. So we are trying to get into that, trying to support more artisans to increase their production and increase the type of products that they make. We are looking at more B2B gifting partnerships, because that gives an advantage to the artist, where the artist is able to get a bigger order at the same time, instead of having single orders from consumers. Of course, our website redesign and upgrade, but that we do almost every year. And we will in future have a fulfillment service for popular products. One challenge that we face is, everyone is so used to Amazon. When they order, they want the product within 2 days. What they do not understand is, like, most of these handmade products are made to order. So once they place the order is when, actually a lot of time is also when the artist buys the raw materials to fulfill that order, because these are very small businesses that are functioning. So usually the delivery time ranges from anywhere between 5 to 7 days, or sometimes even 10 days, depending on the art form or the handicraft product. So to kind of prepare in advance with our popular products, with our with our best sellers, have fulfillment services where, we have a stock ready for them. That is something we would do. We are already shipping to the US, and we are connecting directly with vendors in the US. Our next aim would be to, expand to Middle East and Southeast Asia, where there is also a big demand for Indian made handicrafts. We have 20 plus non-profit organizations on our site now. We do not charge them commission. Actually, we only charge them a processing fee. We do not charge them any commission. We give them logistics support, and we give them training on how to use our portal through their smartphone, and how to take pictures of their products to make it look better. So we create these awareness sessions for them so that their products can sell better. Under campaigns for awarenesses, we are through the year, our artists are also very active in that, wherein they will hold sessions about their art forms, because they want the consumers to know about different art forms. So they will hold sessions. It would either be like a workshop where they will teach them, we had doodling workshops also, and we mandala workshops, these simple things that, a customer can learn also. Or there will be a session about where they just talk about the art. We've had sessions by people who teach about living an eco-friendly lifestyle, and how you can make small changes in your daily life to create an environmental impact. All these are different workshops we've been doing, and a lot of artists are also if they are doing some kind of a social cause, we help them do fundraising, we help them connect with other artists to help in that. So that's the presentation that I had prepared. If anyone has any questions.
Thank you, ma'am. That was wonderful session. We would now have question and answer round. Please post your question on the chat box. Ma'am, while students are putting their questions in the chat box, I would like to ask one question. Ma'am, how do you reach or attract artists to join you?
Okay, so in the first year, it was a big challenge. I had two of my, employees call at least 10, 20 artists every day and tell them about our store. So since then, because we were a new name, if you told anyone wonderwheelstore.com, no one knew what the site was. So I think the first 6 to 8 months was very challenging. And then we saw a trend of more and more artists wanting to sign up. And now we do not face that problem anymore. Our growth rate is that we have about 3 to 4 vendors organically signing up on our site every week without us putting in any effort. So our cost on acquisition of artists has gone down a lot. We have new products every week, and artists also signing up every week. So it was a slow growth. The first year was a challenge, but from the second year onwards, it has been organic.
Okay, ma'am.
Sonu, there are questions on the chat box. You can read it out to ma'am. See on the chat box?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't think I can read out. I don't think I can.
You can read? No. Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Munawira, for the talk. Anyway, let the students put in. Yeah.
Okay.
Akash came straight to the money point.
Money. Yeah. Money talk. I think the money follows if you stay true to the business that you try to start. So the money will follow.
Yes.
Who is your biggest inspiration as an entrepreneur? I think so. I don't know. I like you said when you started the talk, entrepreneur is a buzzword now today. So I feel entrepreneur is a buzzword. That's what it is. You walk down the street, any street in Mumbai, you will see 10 entrepreneurs. From the fruit seller, he is innovating every day to sell the stock that he has. I mean, everyone is facing their own challenges. We are just doing it on a more we have more exposure because we are doing it online. But the challenges faced are very similar, and everyone here is an entrepreneur. So I think, yeah, I gain inspiration from everyone who's trying their best.
Ma'am, there was a question from Akash. Ma'am, what was your previous year turnover?
Yeah, I'm not going to.
She answered that
Oh,
for you.
sorry, ma'am. Sorry,
Come
ma'am.
to Anshul's question.
Yeah.
Anshul Tiwari.
Yes.
That
Okay.
also she answered. No, I think you answered
Yes.
that. Sushmita
Shushmita.
Singh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think advice is it is difficult to when you start. You go step by step. You kind of create a checklist of things you will do in the first year of starting your company, and once you do that, uh, once you have that checklist, of course, it's not going to go as planned, but you have something to follow and something to keep at when you are on your journey. So even if you get derailed for a while, make sure you come back and you're like, okay, this is why I started, and this is I need to follow on this path. So that would be something that I still struggle to do, but make sure to kind of get back to the mission of the company. Mm.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, now there is a question from Shushmita. Is there any advice you would like to give who is
Yeah,
trying to become an entrepreneur?
that is the question I answered just now. Maybe I can read it out and answer. Is that fine?
Sorry, ma'am.
No,
Yeah.
that's fine. Okay, Akash has a question. How you would tackle Amazon like platform? Oh, that is a big challenge. I think no one in India who has an e-commerce platform can answer that question. How to tackle an Amazon giant platform? But our customer base is completely different. Our customer base is people who don't want to buy from Amazon. So we are at an advantage at that. We don't have the exposure. We don't have you know exposure of Amazon. Of course, we don't have the same type of products that Amazon provides, but we know for a fact that people who are wanting to buy our products are the ones who do not want to buy from Amazon. So that customer base is completely different.
There's a question, Munawira, from Sumit Uthale.
Okay.
Why so many startups fail in India? What's the common mistake they make?
I don't think I'm in a position to answer that question actually. A lot of startups, if I mean, depends on what you consider as failure, right? There are many, if it is just a financial, you're checking your, if you can keep your company running without having, without having big losses, I don't think it's a failure, because every industry category kind of takes a different amount of time to take off and to get their customer base or their consumer base or reach to where they uh, wanted to reach. I think startups first of all fail because you give up on the idea, or you see that there's no need for that in the market. Maybe that is one of the reasons that you see. Salish, what inspired you to develop your idea? I think I went over that at the start of the talk. I saw a lot of handcrafted products from India being sold in countries across the world, not just the US, and they were being sold at exorbitant prices. And I also noticed that the same quality of products were not available in the Indian market to buy easily. They were only being sold for export purposes, which led to the fact that the artisans who are actually making these products are struggling to sustain their business, while the high market brands that have bought these products and resold them are gaining huge profits from something that that artist has made. So this is a huge disconnect, and that is something that I wanted to solve with Wonder Wheel Store. So when I wanted to start Wonder Wheel Store, I wanted to start like a fair. Give it like a idea of a fair. So what comes to mind is the Ferris wheel. So from that I thought of Wonder Wheel. Whenever you think of a fair, you think of the Ferris wheel. So that's how the name Wonder Wheel Store came up. That was
That's
my
very
last
cute.
question.
Very nice. It gives a nice fresh vibe and energy.
Yeah.
The
Thank
logo. Yeah. Okay, you can continue. There are many questions here.
Yeah.
I'll read them out if you like, Munawira. What are a few of the major challenges that you face on an ongoing basis?
Uh,
Some of the
So
challenges you face.
a lot of the challenges have to do with, for us, I think on a day-to-day basis that we face is vendor education, like artist education. A lot of the artists are not tech friendly, and they're not able to fulfill the orders. They're not able to, track their stocks on our site. So the technological divide is still huge, even though we are working to, train them in several things. So one thing that we do notice is that we've had to cancel, we still cancel a lot of orders just because it is out of stock or the artist is not able to make it. So that disconnect, the technological disconnect of the artist affects us a lot. So that is something we are working on towards. And one way we have been able to do it is, have one employee be in charge of say 10 artists, a group of 10 artists, where they're continuously in contact and checking with the artists. But it becomes, it has a financial burden on the company, because we have, like I said, we have about 500 artists now. So to keep an employee for every 10 or 20 of them is a big task. And for just that, so we are continuously working on, training them, and that is why we started the company. So it is a challenge, and it'll keep being the challenge, so we have to keep going headfirst and, trying to train them more.
Okay. Quite mighty challenges, I must say.
Yeah.
Ongoing, continuous.
Ongoing. It'll always be there.
Yeah. So Prakriti is asking, is there any product return policy in Wonder Wheel store?
If it is a customized product, then no, once it has a name on it, unless it is damaged during shipping or it is an incorrect product. But otherwise our return policies are similar to most, unless it is customized to your order. So
okay, dear students, I'll just take a minute to welcome, I just saw Dr. Daphne Pillai and Dr. Rema Ramchandran. They both are directors of the International Women's Federation of Commerce and Industry. And we're really happy to have both of you on board. Thank you so much for joining in. And the question comes from Dr. Daphne Pillai here. How do you juggle your time with your family, your company, and your teaching responsibilities? This is a question that I think every girl student, and I'm sure boy students as well, want to know. Please.
So I'm able to concentrate on my company and teaching responsibility because of my family support. So that is how. So I think, yeah, I've been very, very lucky to have all the support that I've needed to focus on the company and teaching responsibilities. And I think I keep a limit to how much I will contribute to all of them, and I try to maintain that. But it is a daily struggle. I'm always still YouTubing methods for time management. So like anyone else, effective methods for time management and how to boost productivity. Like all the entrepreneurs around me also do that, I know for a fact, because everyone struggles with that. You can make a checklist in the morning of these things to do, but then through the day, at least 10 items get added to that checklist. So as an entrepreneur, I think there's no time management is a big struggle.
Yeah.
A lot of people have started company to solve time management problem.
Yes. And not only as entrepreneurs, even as students, I'm sure, whether it is Shruti, Neha, Sonu, all of us are struggling with time management. But ma'am asked a very important question. Daphne ma'am, would you like to say something? Maybe.
No, that's the answer I wanted to hear. That she had the family support.
Just to inform students also that Munawira is the daughter-in-law of Dr. Daphne Pillai. And yes, as Rema, as you're rightly saying, work-life balance is important. And without family support, I'm sure none of us would be successful, that's for sure. There's another question, Munawira, for you, that I think your question, how do you manage your time, Anshul? I think ma'am has already answered. Sailesh, what advice would you give to someone who's trying to be an entrepreneur?
Yeah. I think my what I tell anyone who's trying to start something and who comes and asks me how I started, I say there's this thing called a minimal viable product. So when I first started the website, it was not not even 25% of well performing as it is now. We've changed our website a lot. So I just wanted to start and see if artists want to buy or artists want to sell. So this concept of minimum viable product or a lean product is very important to test out your, test out your market. Once I saw that more and more artists are signing up, and once I saw the kind of products that they wanted to sell, I felt, yes, we need to bring this to market and we need to let our customers know that they can buy all this online. So I think minimum viable product is a good way to go.
Yeah. Akash is asking, ma'am, nowadays artists are moving towards NFT, the upcoming future. What will you do if an artist sell their products individually?
I mean, that is fine. We knew going in, NFT or not, we knew going in already that artists are also selling their products on their own social media as well. It is, I mean, they are not under any contractual liability that they can only sell on Wonderwheel. But on the other hand, we do not have to ask them to say put on their social media that selling on Wonderwheel store. They see the comfort in selling on our site because all of the logistics and the purchasing and selling experience is very smooth. So they on their social media itself, we've had a lot of artists who bring the sale to us. They're like, okay, buy my product from here. So we've seen both ways, and I think it'll always be like that, and that's something we knew going in. When it comes to NFTs, I think it's an entire new infrastructure that people are getting into, and it's a different, completely different business model as well. So it doesn't fall into, I think, the business market that I am in. Currently, how did you get financial support? So I am still a bootstrapped company. We are still not going into investors, but we are planning to go to Y Combinator in the coming year, and that would be a big, that would be a targeted investment. The investment target for next year.
Okay. Raj is asking, you take only processing fees and no other major charges from artists. So how are you able to make a profit, especially since pandemic is impacted?
This is only for the non-profits. Only processing fees is only for the non-profits that we are supporting, and we have, we go through a lot of talks with them to make sure that they are doing legitimate work, they are making a difference, and only then we give them the concession charges. Otherwise, our revenue stream is commission fees for all sales, which is at a flat rate for all artists selling on a platform. The pandemic did impact our business a lot. In fact, for 4-5 months, our company was completely shut down. We were not taking any orders because none of the artists were able to source raw materials and or provide delivery, etc. We were only able to sell essentials like handmade masks and these things. So a lot of our operations were completely shut down. So it did impact us a lot. We had to restart our marketing. We had to reconnect with our customers, etc.
Akash is asking, have you ever had a mind shift towards auctions in this business model?
No, those are mostly, I think, auctions are for very high ticket price items. If you see, we still range from, our products are still, I would say the higher margin products are still at like 10,000, 15,000. These are not auctionable items or heritage items that we are selling. That is a different art market, and maybe we will, as when we have more artists who are working on these kind of products. That's something we would think about down the line.
Okay, thank you. Mehul has a question. How much is digital marketing helping you?
So it a lot, actually. I feel it has made it much easier for e-commerce platforms or digital marketing. Because if you think of it earlier, what would you have done? You would have put newspaper ads, which are exorbitantly priced, and it just gives you views for one. And when you think about digital marketing, the amount you would pay for newspaper ads, you pay a very small fraction to reach a much larger audience. And now, even like the older generations are on social media, so it's become much easier to reach everyone through digital marketing. And with Google Merchant Center, Google has a big infrastructure for e-commerce sellers. So our products are always on a lot of our products are on first page on Google. So those things help a lot more than I think the traditional methods of marketing.
Munawira, I have a question. You spoke about venturing into the USA. Can you tell us a little bit about how did the thought come? Why USA, and how have you gone about it?
So I was continuously thinking about taking the products to US, because I know there is a big demand for it, and as I said before, a lot of resellers are selling the products at very high prices, and there's no direct connect with the artisan. So since I was working directly with the artisan, I could do it in a better way, where the artist is also recognized and gets their fair share instead of getting a small margin of the profit. So I was thinking about how to do it, and then one of my friends contacted me saying, how can I help with that? So with her, she is a US citizen. With her, I was able to set up a company in the US, and we connected with a few vendors, wedding vendors, and also a lot of customer base. And there's these Saturday markets, etc. in the US. We set up stalls there that she is handling that part.
Okay.
And we made sure that against each product that we put there, we have the artist info from whom the product is coming. So that is something that we make sure that the artist is recognized there, and our artists are it's transparent, where they know what prices we are selling them at and what margins they are getting, and the entire process is kept transparent for all parties involved.
Okay.
So that was one of the things I wanted to do, instead of some artist someday finding their product being sold for say, like tens of thousands of rupees, and they've sold it to someone for just a few hundred rupees. So that is the gap that we wanted to bridge.
Yeah. Thank you. Betty, you can unmute and ask while Munawira. There's a next question from Suhas, who's asking, do you have any plan for future customers? I think, what's your plans to increase revenues? I think that's
I think, a lot of our customers, we need to increase our product catalog a lot in terms of categories that we don't have. A lot of, we do get an inquiries of a lot of things like, do you have this that we can buy handmade? Do you have that? And we are still working on increasing that category, and that would increase our customer base automatically. So that's an ongoing process. Other than that, future customers, I think we are seeing a shift in eco-friendly lifestyle. So that is one area for customers we are targeting, trying to make handmade products that are eco-friendly, and trying to train our artists in how they can make the packaging process of manufacture, etc., as eco-friendly as possible. So with these training sessions, we make sure the products that we already have can also be considered eco-friendly.
I think, Akash, just now ma'am has answered your question. As you said, you have repeated customers, but how do you attract out of the box customers? She answered that. Like, they keep trying, training, trying to bring in more products, which you just spoke about. Betty, you want to ask your question?
I just students after 2 months.
I think your voice is breaking. Wait.
Okay, I'll read.
Yeah, just
Their projects on it. Yes, we have internships all throughout the year. But I mean, we need a minimum commitment of at least 3 to 4 months, because it takes 1 month just to train someone to do something, and then at least if you work for 2 or 3 months. But we do have internships all the time. We have paid internships and unpaid internships. So if you are interested in applying, please do apply.
Yes, I think it will be a wonderful opportunity for students to learn as well.
Yeah.
That was a flood of questions. Any more questions are there? Quite a lot. You've spoken non-stop now. Our students have bombarded you with questions. There, Suhas is.
Marketing strategy. I think so. Digital marketing a lot. What really helped us was working on our SEO. Actually, trying to get once our products were on first page of Google, our sales really picked up a lot. So that is something that really paid to work on our SEO, to have a good Google Merchant Center setup. So if you search on Google up, you can directly buy products via the Google Merchant Center. So that's something can I mean that helped us. Vinay has asked how to apply for internship. You can send. I can put my email here, and you can send your resume to that.
Yeah.
Or if you have any other.
Or else what we'll, what we'll do is we'll pass on your email ID to our placement team, and any students who are interested, they can kind of post. So these students are having full day classes, like they have from 9:30 to 4. So can they work like for a few hours every day, something like that? You have like a part-time internship, or you need like a commitment right from?
A lot of roles can be done during the night, like during the late hours also, when it's not related to artist or customer interactions, like content creation and things like that. So if they are related to marketing, they can still get internships for content creation.
Yeah, so I think maybe what we'll do, students, is ma'am will just put down what are some of the things that, especially Munawira, these are first year students, they have whole day classes, so something that they can commit to for a few hours. If you have some kind of profile like that, yeah. And also for our senior students, these are our first year students. But if you have opportunities, you can send it and we'll post it to our, I'll ask our placement team to get in touch with you. And then you can, probably we can take it on from there. Thank you for asking that question. Rinal, no, Prakriti, ma'am has already answered strategies for marketing the business. But Rinal's question, probably Munawira, you can take. Did you plan to be an entrepreneur from childhood?
No, I don't think so. I did not plan to be an entrepreneur. And even now, I think it's not to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to solve that problem and see if I can do well solving that problem. Most of the times, like as I said, I also spend equal amount of time at the Pillai HOC lab, research lab. I'm working with students to try and solve something that that is a social challenge. And in fact, not me, the students themselves have come up with ideas to solve these social challenges. So it's fun solving problems. So as an entrepreneur or not, even I feel like you don't have to have your own company to be happy. Even if you're working for some other company, as long as you like the work, it's enough. Like you don't have to be an entrepreneur to be happy. So that, yeah.
Okay. Sneha, yes, Akash ma'am is a solo founder. Sneha is asking, what was the most difficult situation you faced in this business? Maybe some example you can
I
give.
think for me, unfortunately, like after a year of Wonder Wheel, as soon as the sales started, all our marketing started paying off and our sales started picking up. We had a lot of vendors, artists on our platform, and we were like, okay, I think now we can start measuring how each month it's increasing. The pandemic hit and we had to shut down, so it felt like that year of work had we wasted a year of work. That's why. But then still, we had built everything. Our website was there. We were still in connect with our artists through the pandemic and made sure they don't remove their products from the site, etc. So we were able to start again. But still, those I would say 8 to 9 months was a big impact. So that was like 5 months of zero sales, except for essentials, that's masks, etc. And then 3 months of trickling sales, which affected us a lot.
Yeah, I think every person, every business went through that, during the pandemic was a tough time for everybody, I think. So I think that's that. We don't have any more questions. Munawira, you'll put the first slide on your screen and then we just, so any more questions, students, or else we'll close the session. Okay, Sonu, you can go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. With this, we have come to an end of today's workshop titled My Story Motivation Session by Successful Entrepreneur. I would now like to propose the vote of thanks. At the outset, we would like to thank our extreme guest speaker, Ms. Munawira Kotyad, founder Wonderwell Store, for conducting this wonderful session. Ma'am, your journey with its opportunity and challenge was absolutely wonderful. We hope that many of our students will be motivated to come up with ideas and start their own businesses soon. We would like to thank IC committee members for organizing this session. I thank Dr. Chandran, Director of PiMSR, and all the faculty members and students for joining us today. I am sure each of you has taken valuable takeaways from this session. We will end the session now. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Before that, we'll just request everyone to just put on their videos. We'll just take some pictures. And while you do that, Munawira, there's one last question. What motivates you after the pandemic to keep going?
I think it was very difficult for me personally also to find motivation because I mean, all of this work, when it goes down, you feel like, okay, is it worth like doing all that over again? But it was easier than I imagined for the business to pick up again. What I thought it would look like, it was easier than that because we had done a lot of work before. So that kept me motivated to go on. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So students and ma'am, please put on your video. We'll just take some few pictures. Shaida, if you can please do the needful. Daphne ma'am, Drishti, Purva, Sumit, Neha. Please put on your videos and give us your nice dazzling smile so we can take a nice beautiful picture. Shahida ma'am, Shruti, Dishita, Purva.
Do you want me to stop sharing the screen so we can take up full?
You want like that? No, one we'll take like this, na, Betty ma'am? Shahida, is it okay? Are you clicking?
Yeah, I've taken.
Yeah, we'll now stop the screen share, or is it okay?
Stop.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we'll have more people on screen.
Yeah, so if you'll have, yeah, okay. So please put on your videos, some of you who are yet to have your pictures. Chirag, Anupam, Pooja, Sandeep, Ajinkya, come on. Shruti, Shivani. Okay, at the count of 3. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you once again, Munawira. Really very nice, simple, lucid, very beautiful style of, explaining. Thank you so much. You spiked the interest. Yeah. Students have asked so many questions. I'm really happy.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Daphne ma'am and Rema ma'am. Thank you so much for joining. All the faculty members. Thank you. Betty ma'am, Shahida ma'am, IIC members, Balashnkar sir. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a lovely evening.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, Akash, thank you for asking so many questions. Very nice. Neha, many of you asked questions. It was good. So, no, you did a good job. Thank you. Nice.
Sorry, ma'am, I just messed up in the middle.
Don't worry. It happens. First time, na? Next time you'll do better. Okay. Sailesh, thank you for asking questions.
Special thanks for asking questions.
Yeah, to all the students, really. Sneha, many of you asked questions. That was very good. Yeah. Good. This is how we make it interactive. You know? So that's how you really participate and you make the most of the session. Okay. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Betty ma'am, thank you so much. Shahida ma'am and Balashnkar sir. Bye. See you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.